What if everything you got came with a little bit of money? Spicy chicken ramen with a side of quarters, a full tank of gas, and a $5 bill. An entire pantry's worth of groceries and a pocket full of cash. Well, then you'd be living life on the upside. The first platform that gives you real cash back in real life wherever you roll. Restaurants, grocery stores, gas stations, all cashback opportunities. So order the expensive appetizer, buy a little extra at the store, fill your gas tank till the pump stops. Because with Upside, you can. Start earning cash back just for doing you. Download the free Upside app and use promo code SPICY for an extra $10 cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's promo code SPICY. Promo code SPICY. SPICY for an extra $10 on the free Upside app. Start living life on the upside with the free Upside app.
Hashtag no music, no intro. Ryan, I thought when we had in our podcast life, man, we had a great week this week, man. We had Roman Harper and Darth Saint come on our pod. Roman Harper, bro. Super Bowl winning safety. Roman Harper. At one point was the butt of many a jokes on Saints Report, but was a damn good player for the Saints. Our third player that we've had on who has played for the Saints. Lance Moore, Delvin Breaux. Not everyone, but a lot of people said that the episode we recorded with Roman and Max on Tuesday, by far their favorite episode that we've done since we started doing this podcast episode.
Definitely one of my episodes.
Which is amazing, just great to hear, amazing to hear all that. We haven't even put the video up. I think we're just going to put the video up tomorrow on YouTube and everything. So then you can, I know people will listen to it. It's a longer episode. It's an hour and a half, but then you can kind of see our reactions. It makes it even better. But, I was like, all right, cool. Like living on a high, at least podcast wise. Everything else wise, there's some hectic stuff at work. Life is being life. But podcast wise, I was like, whew, that's good shit. And then fucking today happens. The world of Saints Twitter was on fire. I barely got to participate in it because work has been absolutely crazy. So can't even really focus on Twitter and things like that. But I don't even know who broke it first. I don't know if it was Triplet, but it was how they did it, right? It was kind of just how they did it. Cause it was like, there's reports or like some nudges that some changes was going to happen on Tuesday, potentially. They're back, Saints were back off vacation, back off of golfing, whatever they did after the season ended, bro. Like, I don't know what they did, bro. I know it wasn't self-scouting. I know that much. But got back from vacation on Tuesday and then, get back to the grind. Okay. So maybe we was going to get some news on Tuesday. No, nothing happened on Tuesday. Nothing happened on Wednesday. Oh, Dan Russia. Oh, okay. All right. Like, I don't know if he was part of the problem or whatever, but, today that gets announced and he's out and it's like, oh, all right. Okay. Shit's about to start happening. So here we go. Not a fucking thing. There are 10 openings, for offensive coordinator right now in the NFL. 10. The New Orleans Saints is not one of those teams. This is an offense. I don't want to hear about injuries. I get Andy Dalton was a starting quarterback. Get all that. An offense that at one point in a game the last season did not score a single point against 49ers. I was at that game. Me and Eric, shout out to that homo, was at that game. probably the worst gaming experience I have endured besides the 2012 playoff game against the Niners. Something about the Niners games that just are awful experiences. And then in the last week of the season, the lasting image you have of this season is your football team losing a game 10-7.
10-7, bro.
And the offense did not score a single point after the first opening drive. Sam Darnold had 2 interceptions. QBR or whatever. QBR was like it like his quarterback rating was like in the 50s. Like he did not have 100 yards running and they lost the game. Oh, but Will Lutz, I don't care. It's the offense. And Pete Carmichael is back. And I'm gonna rant a little bit, and then I'm gonna pause and let you talk. I want to say 2 things. I'm gonna say 3 things. I'm gonna keep them quick, but I'm gonna say them very carefully. And I want fans and listeners to kind of realize where the Saints are as an organization right now. Close friend of mine talking about the Saints, good friend. Recently, this friend tells me the entire league are openly laughing at what the Saints are doing. We'll say it again. The entire league is laughing at what the Saints either are doing or, the league is a funny place because everyone inside the league already kind of tends to know what other teams are trying to do or are going to do. It's kind of rare that a team does something in the league where it's like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone kind of gets what the happenings are for other teams for the most part. So for the league to be laughing at the Saints, I didn't say 31 teams, but a good majority of the teams are laughing at you as an organization. That would be troubling to me. Be troubling me if you're in the front office of the Saints. Now that pushback is, oh well, we're just going to show them we know best. Okay. Exactly. I know how the Saints operate. I'm not new here. So that's fans too. Yes, true. It's like the whole Daniel Jeremiah thing all over again, bro. Right? Is it not?
I am a victim of it too.
Is it not? We were both like, nah, niggas don't know what y'all talking about. And then
you just don't follow the Saints, man. You don't know.
You don't know. Like since that tweet, Ryan, I have not listened to an episode of Move the Six podcast, bro. I've not listened, and he was right. Think about that. So that's one thing. Second thing is, same conversation. It's. I want to be careful how I say this. The Saints may be tanking, but it may not be intentional. Let me say it again, Ryan. The Saints may be tanking, but it may not be intentional. That means that so many inept decisions, cognitive decisions that the team in the front office is making are going to be potentially so bad or executed so poorly that 2020, like this upcoming season for the Saints, bro, oh my God, this shit is going to be a shit show. The offseason ain't even happened yet, bro. Like, it's going to be a shit show. I already know. Sorry. It's going to be a shit show. I know the Saints' luck because I'm a Saints fan. I know how this story ends. And I tweet, one of the few things I was able to tweet today is they will be bad and probably a pretty bad team. probably a team that may pick top 10 or even if they're really, really bad, top 5, but they ain't going to be so bad that they Caleb Williams bad. Not going to happen, bro. Just not possible.
It's very hard to be that bad. Believe it or not.
It's hard, bro. And I
think
don't
about this. Katrina blew away the city, and the Saints had to play on the road with a bad team, and still didn't pick number 1 overall. They picked number 2.
Bro, this nigga out here spitting right now. Like, it's hard to be
with
bad.
Aaron Brooks, a beat up team,
no Deuce. No Deuce. Towards ACL.
Towards ACL, like just everything. The worst disaster. And they still couldn't beat the Texans out for number 1 overall.
Couldn't, bro. Like, that's some shit, bro. That's some shit. And the third thing I want to say, and I'm going to let you talk because I need to drink some water or do whatever. I've said this repeatedly. My biggest concern with Dennis Allen and Mickey Loomis, because I think Mickey Loomis, and I've said it, we've said on this podcast, he deserves a lot of blame. He has a lot of blood on his hands. But my biggest concern with sticking with Dennis Allen as a coach, and potentially Mickey Loomis as GM, is not even so much how bad he is at being a head coach, although he is like awful at being a head coach. If you take away like head coach and just say, oh, defense, like he's a above average to sometimes a good defensive coordinator. He even showed that this season with injuries that he can coach defense up pretty well. Okay, I'm going to give him some flowers. I'm going to give him a rose, not multiple roses, a rose. Okay?
A rose petal.
Nick, you can have a thorn. Nick, you want the thorn? You get a thorn. Okay. But it's not the coaching that worries me about him on the team as a head coach. It's the insanely innate ability to not be able to scout at all.
Yeah.
And I think this is really this is another example of it. Like this is a huge example because you're telling me that y'all reviewed y'all reviewed the film. Y'all reviewed the all 22, not even the YouTube clips, Ryan. Y'all reviewed the all 22 of the film of this season. And the decision and assessment you came with Pete Carmichael, who, as it's been tweeted to me, I'm going to give credit to the person who tweeted it, who did not even want the job last season, Ryan. This man didn't want the job. He got the job, and y'all say, you know what? He did so badly in year 1, but let's do it again. Remix, year 2. That is, that's an ability to not self-scout yourself as a team. Because I know how that conversation went when they did their, if we just a little healthier, we got maybe you get healthier. We maybe instead of Andy Dalton, imagine this is Derek Carr, whoever, and you see these concepts, and this player is actually open, right? But Andy doesn't hit him.
Exactly.
I just know these niggas, Ryan. They know them. Just know them.
Wasn't the offense that was bad? It was the execution. We heard Roman opposite. I was like, "Damn, Roman, shut up, Roman."
Lance Moore tweeted it after the last game, bro. But I think that's a player thing, bro, because players are like, man, there's plays out there to be made. You just gotta go out there and make them. That's a player mentality. But I don't know how anyone, well, maybe not anyone, but I don't know how a sane person, not even a fan that's emotionally connected. You can just be a casual fan. If you watch the Saints game this season, maybe except for maybe 2 or 3 games, you was like, this offense is terrible. This offense is ass.
It's trash, bro.
To run it back, and the crazy thing is, I'm not that surprised.
At all.
Ain't that sad, bro? I'm not shocked at all.
At all, bro.
But
at all.
Go talk about it. Talk to the people. I'm gonna take a little break. Talk to the people.
No, it just was funny because I was this morning. It just, I don't know. I was just sitting there on my little smoke break, just chilling, looking at Twitter, and I was just thinking, these niggas gonna keep Pete Carmichael. I don't know why that just popped in my head because I was just thinking about it because people was texting me about who they think niggas Saints gonna get and stuff like that. I just started thinking about it. I started putting myself in the Saints' mind, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what would Loomis do? What would DA do? I just started thinking about it, like, they're not getting rid of Pete. like, if you just listen to the Loomis presser, listen to what how DA talked and all that stuff, it just made perfect sense. Like, it in my mind, I could see them keeping Pete Carmichael. Like, they wasn't going to send him. And
100%.
then when I saw the Dan Rocher thing, and I'm like, okay. And then, man, I'm telling you, I was at work. I live right down the street from my job, so I said, I'm going to take me a little nap.
I was about to ask you how late are you to work, even though you live down the street from your job, though?
Like down the street, I was like, man, I'm going to take me a little lunch nap, bro. Took a little lunch nap. Woke up, wasn't even worried about my phone. Opened my phone, boy, the Discord was popping. I had like 5 DMs, Twitter. I'm like, what the? And then they keeping Pete, bro. I just laughed, bro. Like, it was like funny. I really had no big reaction. I was just like, this is like exact. This is right on brand.
Right on brand, bro.
Right on brand. Right on brand, man.
I wish when the news came out, I wish Pete was in the office and he pulled the scene from Wolf of Wall Street, bro.
But that's what I want to know. I want to know, did they even bring Pete in the office and be like, why should we keep you?
Absolutely not, Ryan.
And make him put like a PowerPoint up and stuff like that. No. He probably didn't even bring him in. Like, he probably in Idaho somewhere fishing.
Pete found out just like we did today, bro. Nigga checked his phone like, oh shit. I guess I'm back at OC, huh?
He telling his wife, like, baby, I guess we still gonna stay down here, baby. Like, these motherfuckers really keeping me. Damn. What do I have to do to not have a job?
Ski mask, Pete, bro. Just, you know how Michael Thomas used to wear a ski mask, bro, when he walked. I need Pete on the sideline, bro, in the ski mask, just out here scheming, just stealing all the money from Gail, bro.
It's unbelievable, bro. It is just like, oh my God, the straw manning that's going on Twitter right now, bro. It's like, oh, well, Pete, he had to play with Danny Dalton and this and that. Y'all expect him to have like a prolific offense? It's like, no. Nobody's saying he had to have a prolific offense. Nobody. But show us something. Show us something to be like, man, they really overachieve. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, to be like, man, it's all the injuries and all that, he really did a pretty good job with what he did.
I think a perfect counterpoint to that terrible defense or whatever, man, all you got to do is look at Mike LaFleur and the Jets, bruh.
Thank you.
Like, he had Zach Wilson for some of the season, and when Breece Hall was healthy and the offense was like, you be watching Red Zone and I would see what the Jets were doing on offense, and Zach Wilson usually was not a part of it. It usually was like a run play or whatever. But I was like, okay,
go look at Daniel Jones.
Ooh,
Daniel Jones about to get another contract, and everybody got jokes for Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones looked like, out of all the quarterbacks that played during the wild card weekend, I'm not saying he's this top quarterback, but that last weekend his play was like top 3 of all the quarterbacks that played last weekend, bro.
And you'd be right to say it.
Because you know what? Bro, we've been talking about coaching on this podcast all season, right? We done gave examples of Dan Campbell. We gave examples of Brian Dable. We done gave examples of Doug Peterson. Like, Brian Dable is going to win Coach of the Year, as he should. And you're talking about a Giants team, and I'm going to say it. If you stack the current Giants team up talent-wise to the Saints, just in terms of talent.
Speak on it.
It's not close, Ryan. It's not fucking close. But yet you're going to try to look at me in the straight face and say, oh, well, we got to bring DA back. We're going to preach continuity. It's like DA does not have DA doesn't even have a 500 record as an NFL head coach in one season. Not even broke even. Hasn't broke even yet.
And you look how the Giants approach, I don't want to make this about the Giants, but look how they approached the Dave Jones situation. They didn't give him the 50 option. They said, look, this season's on you, buddy. And he started the season kind of spoon-feeding him the offense, testing him out to see what he can handle, to see, to challenge him. And he took it, up and down a little bit, but as he progressed, he got better and better, and they gave him more and more, and more and more. Come to playoffs, they incorporating run options and all that stuff, and they letting them ball out. Just coaching, bro. Like, just when I see stuff like that, I'm like, man, that's just beautiful. Like, that's coaching. Just beautiful.
It's beautiful to see.
Somebody just manage a situation like that. You know what I'm saying? Whereas the Saints, they don't even know. Like, they went to this offseason that Jameis Winston's the starter. Period. He's a starter, this, that, and other. He got banged up, forced him into the situation. They forced him to play a couple games when they shouldn't have. Then they switched to Dalton due to health. Then all of a sudden it's like, we like Andy Dalton better. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we rather his style of play. It's like, did Jameis Winston just fall out of a tree somewhere? Like, did you not know Jameis Winston's style of play before you was making him a week one starter? It's like what?
But I'm gonna circle back to a point though. It goes back to an inability to self-scout your team because they went that offseason, right? That offseason started with them pursuing, Mr. 22, Deshaun Watson, and all that. We don't got to revisit that. That didn't work. Thank God. And then they pivoted to Jameis. And then once they pivoted to Jameis, every move they made last offseason indicated and told fans that we believe as a team and as an organization that we can still compete. We can still win the NFC South. We can make some noise in the NFC playoffs. And after that Chargers game, bro, preseason game, shit, we saw the vision, bro. We got Chris Olave. We got this young developmental offensive tackle. The second round pick, man, maybe not. But, we got Honey Badger. We got Jarvis Landry. Michael Thomas is coming back healthy.
We was ready.
Good. Boom. City Deuce trade happens first. Oh, okay. All right. That's a little worrisome. And because they were contenders or could compete, as Bookie Brooks believed and all that, they didn't even for 1 second think about drafting a quarterback at 19 like Kenny Pickett, right? Because if you draft a quarterback like Kenny Pickett at 19, it's more like you give the impression that we're rebuilding. We're not close, right? But the Saints don't. I think the issue that fans have to realize that the Saints has, and it may sound ridiculous, but they come off as a team that's so worried about the perception of what people and fans or other teams think of them.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It's weird. It's like just run your fucking organization. When you're doing good, we'll praise you. When you're doing shit, we'll let you know about it. So they had that perception, or they truly believe that they were contenders. Didn't try to get a quarterback. Season happens, blah, blah, blah. But then all throughout the season, we keep seeing the same recurring fucking theme, right? NFC South is bad. Shit. Okay. But what happens at that Raiders game? Shut them out. They look good. Oh, we got this underachieving edge rusher in Marcus Davenport. Has had up and down. He's had pretty bad season. Came into camp out of shape. Made a couple of splash plays in this Raiders game. The Rams might give us a second for him, or shit, maybe a second and third. Man, you know what? Shit, we about to go win the NFC South. We about to make some noise. Have a home playoff game. Like, keep y'all second. Bro,
DA pumping them up.
You know, it's probably in the locker room.
DA pumping them up like it's the best player on defense. I'm like, what?
Probably in the locker room giving a little shoulder shake, you know, a little shoulder rub. Like, you got this, baby. Like, good to go. But it all goes back to what? Inability to self-scout yourself as a team. They don't look at it long-term. Saints, especially under Mickey, don't look at things long-term. Like, shit, we don't have that many picks. Like, we might not resign this player. Maybe we should get a compensation for him, like a draft pick. A high draft pick because it's the Rams because they had an awful season this season. Nope, don't trade him. It all goes back to this inability to self-scout or this ability to think that they're a better team than what they actually may be. They may be on paper a talented football team in some areas, right? Just going back to the Saints versus Giants example. But if you don't have the facilities and you don't have the coaching, I'm not going to get into injuries, but like talent-wise, I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but when you just stack up coaching against coaching, the NFL will let you know what teams are coached well and what teams are not coached well.
Easily.
Period.
And look, I think that has something to do with the also offense coordinator search. You know what I'm saying? Because I've heard, from people that know that they were, at least putting feelers out as far as like offensive coaches. But I'm like you said, man, there's so many openings right now. I think a lot of, the hot names were looking at the Saints like, I pass on that one. You know what I'm saying? But to me, I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, money talks.
That's what, bro. I was
I don't care. Money talks. Like, if you really want a guy, you can go get the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Like, Gail has not been shy about spending money, whether it was Saints related or whether it's Pelicans related. Money is not an object. I mean, that's how dead money and paying money up front has worked for the Saints notoriously for the last couple of seasons. That's what the recipe is. So if you say you tell this hotshot OC or whatever, like, hey, you come in and we might start you off. Your salary might be higher than you think it would be. Like, I'm not saying that would have 100% persuaded someone to say yes, but at least that gets you an interview. Like, so
yeah, we didn't even do an interview. Like, we didn't even try.
Not an interview, Ryan.
Like, Sean Payton, infamously gave up like $250,000 of his
for Greg Williams
contract to get for Greg Williams. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the sell? Where's the look, bro, I need you to come coach. Where's Dennis Allen busting in the Loomis offense and saying, look, bro, I can't do Pete no more. I want this kind of offense. I need this guy to come to my. None of it. And, I was saying this to somebody I was talking to on, I was texting with today. I was like, Dennis Allen, he came up with the Saints. You know what I'm saying? Started off as an defensive assistant, came up to the secondary coach. Then he went to Denver for a year as a DC, then immediately got fast-tracked as a, head coach with the Raiders, put together a little ragtag organization there. Then got bounced out of there, back to the Saints. So he doesn't have that Rolodex, like said Sean Payton had, who came up for years in the college scene, and then was with the Giants, with Philly, then with the Giants, and then with the Cowboys under Parcells, with all these, elite coaches over there and GMs and all that stuff. He doesn't have that Rolodex he could hit up like a lot of these coaches, being such a young coach and being somebody who really only came up in one organization for the most part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't have that list of people he can hit up and know, like, man, this guy here, he does this with it. He don't know. You know what I'm saying? He's just shooting that fish, and that's one of the catches. That's one of the things you have to, like, when you're hiring a head coach, you have to know, because they have to build a staff. Like, people last week was like comparing Mike McCarthy and Sean Payton. Because if you look at, like, their records,
Right.
the records, Super Bowl and all that, is very similar. It's like, who's better? Who's better? I'm really not getting into who's better, because, like, come on, you should know who's better. But, they're not far apart, but they're two different type of coaches. You know what I'm saying? Because McCarthy, he could build a shit out of staff, bro. Like, the dude knows people. He's been in the league forever. You know what I'm saying? He might not institute the best offense or whatever, but, like, he knows how to build a staff and build an organization and handle an organization. You know what I'm saying? People talk about all that Sean Payton shit to the Cowboys. Man, Mike smoked Tampa Bay out here. You know what I'm saying?
Smoked him, bro.
Smoked in this pass. And had Dak looking, like, Dak was looking great.
Great.
Like, great. You know what I'm saying? So it just goes to show, like, there's different style of coaches you can get. You know what I'm saying? And DA is at that point where he has no style, bro. Like, I don't even know what
None, bro. None.
No style, man. Like, he has no, like, he doesn't have the Rolodex, list of coaches that he can hire. He's not really bringing any kind of, like, overarching, like
what, like, but
like what are you bringing to the
bro,
table?
that's okay, what are you good
solid
at?
Defensive coordinator.
Okay, whoopity fucking do.
And even like, I don't want to not give him his flowers, because he has been, like, one of the better defensive coordinators for the Saints that we've had for, years. But it's like, can you get the most out of little talent? Because
but that's the thing, is, like, he wasn't hired last season to be a DC, bro. Like, that's where it goes. Right. This man is the CEO of the Saints. Like, you the top dog. Like, it can't just be defense. You said it earlier this season when things were going awry, when we all assumed, and this is again the life lesson about assuming that Pete wouldn't be back. Like, DA needs a Greg Williams of offense, just someone that can just go take care of the offense. DA don't gotta worry about it. Just take command. And listen, we know resoundingly that is not Pete Carmichael. I'm sorry,
no,
not him.
It's not him. And that's okay. Like, he could have a 50-year career in the NFL on offense. You know what I'm saying? Doing things on offense. But as far as, like, being a dog on offense, being a stick, the Saints don't have a stick on offense right now.
Nah, bro.
Dan Campbell, he was an enforcer.
Yep.
For the Saints. CJ was coach to wide receivers. Curtis Johnson. He was a stick on offense. You couldn't go to a practice where I remember sitting at practice at a Saints practice at Tulane Stadium. I'm way up in the field, and I could hit that damn Curtis Johnson down the way. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't, like, they don't have that stick on offense right now. And Pete not it. You know what I'm saying? To kind of just be that fucking enforcer on offense. You know what I'm saying? He needs that. And they could have kept CJ, but they let him go, probably because he had a voice. Probably because he would tell Pete, man, we ain't doing that dumb shit.
Dumb. I just want to say that what CJ was let go, not probably because he would have stood up to DA, and he was let go precisely because of that reason. Like, to me, that speaks volumes, because if you are potentially willing to let a coach go, not because of their merits of their coaching or what they can do, but because that coach may, just may not do everything that the head, may just not be a yes man. Instead of being like, yeah, we're gonna do it this way, blah blah blah. Be like, you know what, coach, actually, how about this way? If you as an organization fear that for the head coach that you're picking to be your head coach, maybe that fucking person shouldn't be head coach.
Exactly. And that told me a lot. That right there, now that I think about it, was kind of just a little, I thought that was interesting when they let go of CJ. I just thought that was interesting because he was a head coach at Tulane for a little while, been with the Saints organization as long as DA, a New Orleans guy. And I remember we saw him at the Senior Bowl last year.
Sure did, bro.
I tried to sneak in the stadium with him. I was like, yeah, I got a little Saints logo on my shirt. They're like, nah, bro. But he was there, so he was a part of the staff until he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. I remember that just being interesting to me. Like, I know CJ. I know what the type of person he is, and he ain't with the dumb shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't with the dumb.
There's another one that got released like the same day as CJ, and I can't remember who it was. And it was a coach. I can't think for the life of me who it was, but it was essentially for the same reason. Like, that tells you everything you need to know about it all, right? So my question to you is, so I'm going to play devil's advocate. So let me just be a devil's advocate. Let's say instead of, I have tons of concerns about the offensive line, right? Penning's LASIK, Liz Frank injury. I said LASIK. This is how much I've been not even thinking about football, bro. Like not completely different body part. Penning's Liz Frank, Maurice's Liz Frank. McCoy's healthy, but you got Ramchek's, his hip and his knees, and just it wouldn't shock me at all if Ramchek decided just to retire this offseason, bro. And this is not any insight. This is not even like I think nothing, bro. I'm just saying, just common sense. That man said, "Man, I ain't putting my body through that fucking shit again. I gotta go."
The man is in his mid-20s and has to take every Wednesday off. You know what I'm saying? Like
they're wherever as long as Ramchek is playing football, he will have to be managed for the rest of his career going forward. That is a fact. That's a fact. So if that man just said, "Man, I made money. I'm good. I don't want to put my body through that anymore. I'm just gonna go weld or whatever, bro." Like, wouldn't be shocked in the least. But let's say he returns, but he's still managed. Andres Pete probably won't be back. I can't say that 100% sure, but I do think this is the one sunken fallacy they'll finally let go, and then you have McCoy. Out of those 5 spots, you only have one player, and Eric McCoy, who might be healthy for the season, bro.
That's it.
What?
That's it.
Ram, but really just one. Out of the offensive line, so that's a lot for me to say. Offensive line aside, if you pluck out Andy Dalton from the starting lineup, and I want to be devil's advocate. I want to, just give the other side, right? You put in, I don't know, bro. You put in Derek Carr because that's the popular one that's been the last couple of days, or you put in a Jimmy Garoppolo. As I again don't know anything, haven't heard it. Well, I know a lot of things, but haven't heard anything. These are just examples, and they're the ones who were operating Pete's offense instead of Andy Dalton. Do you think, I know it's kind of hard to say, but do you think we would see any big or dramatic differences in terms of the offense and its execution?
It's hard to answer, man. I do think with a Derek Carr, I do think you would see some differences. I don't know about dramatic. Interesting thing about Carr is, man, he's played with some of the worst defenses in the league since he's been in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
think he's ever played with a good defense ever in his career.
He's never played with an average defense.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He has played with terrible defenses his entire career. So the way you could sell me on Carr is like, hey, you put him. But the thing is, I don't even know how good the Saints defense is going to be going forward, bro. Because that thing is getting older, it's getting slower, and the good players are leaving. So I don't.
Someone in our Discord put a tweet. I wish I could give credit. I for it. I really wish I could. I'm trying to find the tweet, and it was basically a graph. But was it the oldest teams or the oldest defense? Yeah. I don't remember.
I think it was the team overall.
Saints number 1, bro. Lions the youngest.
Just unbelievable, bro. But as far as I think it was as far as players that actually play.
Yeah,
it's the oldest.
Oldest,
yeah.
bro. I was like, oh,
oldest and slowest.
Come on now. The bad thing is when some of your quote unquote younger players like Marcus Davenport and Peyton Turner are some of the slow ones, and they
right.
That's problems, bro.
That's why
you can't be young and slow, bro.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Team speed stood out. But anyway, man, I do think a better quarterback will improve the offense. I truly believe that. But it still doesn't excuse the things that Pete did. Going back to Kamara, his usage.
Oh my God.
Going back to Taysom Hill, his usage. Going back to red zone offense. I mean, what I was looking up earlier today, the Saints ranked 28th in the NFL in touchdowns per drive. 28th, bro. 28th? I'm not saying the Saints should be top 5 in that category or even top 10. But 28th?
You want to? I'm about to pull a Ryan and say, can we be top 16th, bro?
13. Can we be 13 in TDs per drive? You know what I'm saying?
28, bro.
28 in TDs per drive. And 30. I think it's 32nd when you net touchdowns per drive. I don't know what that means. I guess that's minus defensive touch. I don't know. Whatever. They're 20th in points per drive. 22nd DVOA on Football Outsiders and offense. That's just, I think you're not going to win like that. Even with a solid defense, which is unfortunate because the Saints really did have a solid defense down the stretch.
They did, man.
And they struggled to score 20 points. Let me just read out these points. Bro. Okay. This is after the Raiders game. When they, trounced the Raiders. This is what we scored, bro. 13 points. 10 points.
Oh, my God.
27 points against the Rams. 0 points. 16 points. 21 points. 17 points. 20 points. 7 points. That's disgusting, man.
In 2023, Ryan.
In 2023, bro. And if you look at what the opponent scored, it just makes you even more sad. Because this is not like they were scoring points either. You know what I'm saying? The defense was doing their job, bro.
Do you feel like this? I know why. I know what my answer is. But do you feel like this already, with Pete Carmichael coming back as an offensive coordinator, do you feel like this already puts a big damper on the upcoming season?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Huge, bro. Because imagine if they just would have brought a new face in.
Nigga, I would have been fine with Jay Gruden, Ryan. Can we get some wetness?
I was starting to get sold on Ron Curry. Just elevate him. I was selling myself on that. I was like, well,
I made the little eyes when I saw he was going to be the OC at the Senior Bowl because I was like,
I was like, maybe he could bring some fresh ideas. I don't know.
They're like, nah, nigga, get back on the sideline. You only with the quarterback.
It's I would have took anything. Greg Olson, anybody, bro. I saw Greg Roman got fired today. I bring Greg Roman up again.
I was gonna say one thing. Greg Roman could cook up some stuff with Taysom in the run game better than Sean did when Taysom was a starter. I'm just saying though.
I told somebody yesterday, bro. If they said we bringing a run game extraordinaire on the offense with coaching staff and said I'm gonna make a Taysom offense, I'd be on board with that. Because look, at least it's a plan. No, it might not win you a Super Bowl, but at least it'll be a little fun here and there. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that shit. But I just can't do this, bro. This. So you're going to run it back with Pete Carmichael.
And D-Day.
And what? Tell me, okay, you're going to go out and get a better quarterback? What quarterback wants to come here? What? Tell me what quarterback is going to be looking like, oh, yeah, I got to do it. I gotta go play for Pete Carmichael at D8. That's what I'm gonna do, man.
And
that's gonna get me paid.
And I know he didn't use them well, and I know he mismanaged them, and probably will next season if he's still on the team. But if AK is still on the team next season, he's missing 6 games, bro. So
just depressing, bro. Depressing, man.
Just pain.
The best thing that can happen for the Saints in the next week or so is Sean Payton gets traded.
Oh my God!
And we get some nice picks. That's the best thing that can happen, bro.
That's it. That's it, man. That's it. Like this. It's funny because we were just talking with Max on Tuesday about like the bad errors and like all that, man. I can't speak to the bad errors or anything like that. I can speak to the Jim Haslett days when like that's right in the peak when I became a fan. I can speak to the Katrina season. Obviously, I wasn't in New Orleans when Katrina hit, but I've been a Saints fan quite a while. This feels hopeless. It does. Yeah. It feels just hopeless, just drifting in the sea. Not the sail. The sail. I don't even know where the sail going, bro. Like where we go? I don't know.
I hadn't felt like that as a Saints fan probably since maybe the 2004 season of Jim Haslett. Because even prior to that, like 2002, 2003, I was like, maybe I was stupid, but I was like, man, this team could get to the Super Bowl if they just get in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still would, tell myself that it was stupid in hindsight. But I would still tell myself, but then 2004, I was like, man, this team trash. And the Katrina season, I was, whatever. Sean Payton coming in, it changed the game, obviously. So, yeah, it's been like, I haven't felt like that in almost 20 years where I'm just like, man, there's no hope.
Dark, bro. Dark. Bro, I gotta
look forward to.
I gotta take it back to the little sound drop I did on the old Saints Talk podcast. Hello, darkness, my old friend, bro. Just
and this is darkness.
Oh,
this is dark.
And you said one of the best things that can happen for the Saints in the next couple of days is Sean Payton gets traded. One of the worst things that can happen in the next couple of days is Sean Payton announces that he gonna go back to Fox and he gonna say, "I'll coach you for a year, bro."
And don't it feel like that?
It does, bro. It does.
It feels like that, bro. Like, cause there ain't no hot jobs, man. Like, if he was smart, like I think Brandon Staley will probably be out next year.
Yeah,
you know
what's going to happen?
Probably have some better jobs.
You know what's going to happen. They gonna bring Joe Lombardi back in some little fluffy capacity, some made up office.
Man, please.
Offensive job type correspondent to the clipboard, and it has like it'll have like quarterback quote unquote developer in quotes like on the actual job title, bro. Like it's gonna be something asinine, but I just feel in my bones that somehow he'll be back, bro. Somehow.
And it's like, what is that Darryl Sharp thing, man? Like, because didn't he come in? He was the offensive line coach at first, right? Or was he always like?
No, you're right. He was offensive line. Yeah.
Because he was supposed to bring in like a sort of zone, like inside zone type thing. I guess they stopped doing that. They moved to more like a run game coordinator position. The run game was trash.
Yeah, he had been with the team since for 10 years.
10 years, bro. And I just don't. I don't know what they're doing, bro. I don't know. Like what's the vision? We're back to that.
Oh my God, bro. We are back to it.
What is the vision, bro? I don't know what it is, man. But the vision is we keep doing what you're doing.
That's the vision, bro. The vision is complacency and continuity. 2 C's, bro.
Yeah.
Continuity and complacency.
That's it.
Oh man. And then just kind of wrapping this up. I would be like, even the whole notion, of going like, potentially maybe they go the route of trading for the high end talent of the unknown, like a Trey Lance or Jordan Love. You break Trey Lance and Jordan Love in with Pete, bro.
Are you telling me Pete gonna coach him up? Pete. Pete gonna be sitting up there at 5 in the morning, getting them to execute a third down offense or whatever. Like, seriously? Seriously.
Okay.
Okay.
Although I
that's what I'm saying. Like that underscores a point perfectly. Like that totally limits what they could do. You know what I'm saying? Like, just come on, man. Like we ain't seen that from Pete, bro. We have not seen that ability to coach up.
And I don't. And again, I've been off Twitter, but I've seen some stuff in the Discord. Like, I don't think anyone, at least I'm not trying to like besmirch Pete's time as with the Saints.
Oh no,
or anything like. I'm not, but like the NFL, or not just any job, you're judged by off your current performance and what you do in your performance. Like, I think I gave a good example of it on Twitter. You can say that Pete, he had 3 good offense. The Saints offense had 3 good offensive games, right?
Yeah.
Raiders, Rams, and Seahawks, right? 2 of those teams are picking top 10 in the NFL draft and had some of the worst defenses in the NFL. But like, I'm just looking from the perspective of like, out of 17 games, he coached the offense well. That's a 17.6%, bro.
Unbelievable.
Like, you telling me that if you had a field goal kicker and his percentage is 17.6 of making field goals, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna send you out here to make this game winning kick. 17.6% for the team. Like what? I don't understand it, bro. I don't. The weirdest, fucked up, the most random shit that could happen, bro, is that if a Sean Payton trade does happen, they get, I don't know, they could get 9. They could potentially, like, let's say they got, I don't think it's gonna happen. Like, they got either 9 or they got 12 or they got 3. And it's at somehow, some way, they end up with one of the 2 top 3 quarterbacks. So CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, or Will Levis. Trying to like envision Pete coach like a top 12-ish quarterback prospect, bro.
I couldn't see it.
You know what they do? Like I said, bro, they bring Joe Lombardi back. He'd be the quarterback coach again. Just a big happy family, Ryan. Just a big happy family.
It's unbelievable, bro. But look, man, like if I wanted to just look on the bright side.
Talk to me. Give me some bright side.
The Saints were 10th in the league in yards per play. And if you look at every team above them, all playoff teams, except for the Raiders. Rest were playoff teams. So they were yards per play. So they moved the ball this year with Andy Dalton. You know what I'm saying? They moved the ball. They sucked in the red zone. They had a sucky kicking game. You can look at the skill position. You can say they missed out on like a Michael Thomas and a Jarvis Landry being out. So that's me trying to be like, if I was, putting myself in Loomis and those guys' shoes, trying to convince themselves that, look, we could be better with what we got. And I'm not saying that's what I think, but like that's what I could see them thinking, that like, man, if we just, if we could have a little injury luck and, get this player and that player, we could be a pretty good offense again. If we have a good defense, this and that. I don't believe it, but that's what they believe, bro. Like they believe that they're closer than I believe. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, I know 100% what they believe. Like it is very, it is very obvious what they believe. And I'm going to say this point though. If you believe that, I'm going to follow up what I said in one of the last episodes we did after the season ended. Can y'all just show us that y'all can retain talent? Can y'all bring back Juwan Johnson on a deal that makes sense? Can y'all bring back Caden Ellis on a deal that makes sense? Because don't try to look at me and talk to me about continuity and culture, and you let two players that you drafted and one player that was undrafted just go out and go to other teams and they flourish, like we're seeing with Marcus Williams, like we're seeing with CD Deuce, like we're seeing with Trey Hendrickson, Von Bell. Like Roman Harper came on this podcast and pretty much said, I mean, guy had a good point, bro. Like that 2000, as good as that 2017 draft class was, they're not with the team no more, and then they didn't win nothing. Well, although, you know, I can kind of say why they didn't win anything, but like the point that he said and that we've said on this podcast and I've tweeted, it doesn't matter how fucking epic your fucking draft class is if you don't retain the talent that you drafted. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Doesn't make so if you're gonna preach continuity and just bang that over the head and like stability, culture, blah blah, all the words that they love using, show us that you can be and use continuity in keeping players that you've grown and are actually good on the team. Figure it out.
And get back to having some teeth on offense, bro. Like, man, listen to Roman Harper talk about how they used to be, you know, team period, man, competition period. They were talking shit. Sean Payton was talking shit. CJ was talking shit. Shockey, Greg Williams, everybody, Greg Vilma, they were just getting after it. You know what I'm saying? They were getting after it, trying to beat each other up, trying to outdo each other. Like, man, where is that, bro? Like, where is that shit? You know what I'm saying?
As much as I love
to the point where the defense was testing itself against the offense.
Right. Know? As much as I love Olave, as much as I love, Shaheed and his promise, like, to the point what you're basically saying is that can we get a dog? Can we get a dog on offense, please?
Dogs, 2 or 3.
I'm gonna say this, and I don't think he's gonna be there, but because if the Saints continue not to have a first round pick, and I don't care if it's I don't think it's controversial, but a great pick for the Saints to make outside of quarterback or whatever is, if somehow he's available, is drafting Bashawn Robinson from Texas. If Pete is your offensive coordinator, and who knows, bro, maybe Pete and DA only last one more season. If they start off like 0-6 or some shit like that, like whatever. But if this is the type of offense you want to have, like, have a run game controlled fucking offense, have a dog in the backfield, and then run the ball and play action pass, whoever's fucking quarterback, and try to just fucking figure it out from there. Like, but right. I think the point that you and I are both saying is, can we have a fucking identity on offense? What's frustrating as a fan is I'm so, like, the outcome of the games don't bother me. Like, I get into them still, but like the outcome, like if they win, lose, whatever. What bothers me more than anything is like the team building aspect, and sometimes, and how at times it can look so incompetent. Like,
exactly,
you and I have said, like, if we see it, and the majority of other fans in Saints Twitter sees it, like, we are not blind. Why can't y'all see it? Like, it is not that fucking hard.
Can't be, bro. And I refuse to buy into, well, they know more than you. They're in the building. And
fuck out my face with that shit.
Fuck out my face with that shit.
Shout out.
I don't believe that. I used to believe that.
Oh, I don't believe that at all. No.
I don't believe that no more.
Shout out to Bayou for saying that we need to get that on the t-shirt, the fuck out my face t-shirt, hashtag Saints for Podcast, fuck out my face t-shirt. We also got the hashtag Saints for the Podcast nickname shirt coming soon. It's gonna have Two First, Who First, Bonfire, Finding Nemo. Y'all don't seen the shirts with the names on them before. Don't act. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Shout out to our dude Joey, Queso Eater, for coming up with an idea for that t-shirt. I was going to try to get that maybe before the meetup, but it didn't happen. But I agree with you. I think this does put a huge damper on the offseason, like you said, a Sean Payton trade, and they get some picks can in some way rejuvenize it a bit, but it feels bleak right now. And unless they come out in the offseason, makes retaining Caden Ellis would be great. Getting Jawan Johnson on a deal that makes sense is great. But if they not are trying to get like a quarterback or like something, bro, like we gonna need some drinks. We might have some alcohol poisoning during the Zooms, bro.
Some blue chew or something. Get me going, dog. Cause it's gonna be dry, bro.
You say a blue chew, right? Bro, we gonna be in them Zooms watching the offense, just hitting our meat like wake up, like they on offense.
Wake up.
She laying right there. She even playing with
Do something.
Just wake up. We rough, bro. It's gonna be rough. So this is our first emergency pod of the off season. I'm sure that there are more to come. But as we close this out, if you've listened to us for the last hour, hopefully you did. I wasn't expecting to go this long, but I just felt like we need to get all this out. Two things. The GoFundMe for Alan Keller, that the podcast set up. We are, it's ending tomorrow. So if you haven't had a chance to contribute to it and you would like to, please do. Or if you don't have the funds, I get it. We understand how things are. Just a simple retweet. I will be sending, the email to Alan so he can start, getting the funds together. I do want to just give an immense thank you to our entire community. As we sit on this podcast and make jokes about the Saints and the front office and that's all entertainment. That's all in good fun. But like real life shit, like real shit. And I get it. Like front office people are real people too, and so are football players. That's what I'm saying. But having deaths in your family and fucking a lightning bolt hitting your fiance's home and causes the man and his family has been through it. Not saying that we as people and we individually have not been through it too, because I'm sure all of us have in some type of way, but him and his family has been through it. He is such a pillar in Saints Twitter. He's such a pillar in the community of New Orleans of just giving and being selfless and helping others. And I really relate to that because I try to do the same in my career as being a social worker of helping and being selfless. And so I 100% get where his heart is. And so when I saw like what happened with the fiance and the lightning strike, I said, "Nah, man, like we got to do something." So I set the goal at 1,500 to start, and we are double that, which is unreal. The tweet that I originally sent out about the GoFundMe is like the most viral tweet, I think, maybe, or one of the most viral tweets that I have done, and I could not be happier. So thank y'all. Anyone who just shared the link and retweeted it, even if you couldn't contribute, or if you did contribute any amount you contributed, thank you so much for doing that. So anything helps. And I know Alan would have never asked for us or anyone to do this for him, because that's not the type of person that he is. But I felt like as we are the quote unquote official Saints Twitter podcast, it would be neglectful if we didn't try to do something for him.
And like you said, man, it wasn't even about the money, but just the amount of support. That's what blows you away. You know what I'm saying? It's all these people, strangers,
man,
people that you don't even know. Some people are donating anonymously. They just want to throw in. You know what I'm saying? Like that, man. I'll tell you, it's easy to get real nihilistic about humanity and the world and all that stuff and what's going on, but when that stuff happens, it just gives you a little boost. Like maybe we're gonna be all right. maybe we'll be okay. The old humans.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Last thing we're gonna close with, man. I'm about to block someone from our Saints Twitter feed, bro. I just saw. This is the first time me doing a live block. I usually only block from my personal account. I usually don't block from our shared Twitter account. But I saw this tweet, bruh, and I gotta block him. It's at Tricky Ricky 70. Putting you on blast, Tricky Ricky 70. So someone put a funny meme video of them finding out that Pete Carmichael was going to stay for another season. Ryan quote tweeted it and put a laughing emoji because it was funny as shit. Someone's response to it. And this is this man at Tricky Ricky 70 defending Pete. This is what he says verbatim. Did he turn the ball over or not stop the run in the first 6 games? I know he missed those field goals. Maybe he chose a field that was responsible for all those injuries. Open your damn eyes and think. Sorry, bro.
Block this dude, bro. Block him. Got my vote.
Bye. And then I'm the type of person that I'm also going to go to my personal Twitter account and block him from mine too, bro. I can't.
Block him mine.
Okay. Bye, Tricky Ricky. But sorry, that was kind of fun. Maybe I should do like a live blocking every episode.
Every episode.
Just read out the tweet that got you just blocked on that. Last thing, I know we're going long. Last thing, the Saints Twitter podcast, we are gonna have official jerseys. I'm very excited about them. We've tweeted them out. The design, it came out great. I want to give a big shout out to our dude London, aka Landon.
Landon.
Got Landon on the track. For hitting me up and giving me the suggestion and giving me the company that could make it happen. We're only ordering 30 jerseys. Depending on how it goes, it just may be a one-time run, and we might not order any again because we have to order them in bulk, and it ain't cheap. So there's, I believe, 7 to 8 spots left. Those spots filled up quick. If you want a official hashtag Saints for the Podcast jersey, I think they'll probably arrive sometime in February, and then I'm going to start sending them out individually to everyone who ordered them via the mail. You have to DM me, DM Ryan very quickly, because once the full 30 spots are up or filled, they're filled. And the way that it works in terms of pricing is that if you're a Patreon at the level of $15 or more, then the jersey is $50. If you're non-Patreon, the jersey is $75. I know it's like, oh, that's a lot of money, blah, blah. Listen, it ain't cheap ordering 30 jerseys. That's all I'm going to say. So we want to do this in terms of, more than anything, the branding, the marketing, and plus, like, what fucking other podcast that you know of has customizable jerseys where you're repping the podcast and you got the number you want on it, you got your whatever name you want in the back, and you repping, like, man,
like, that's fly,
bruh. That's dope. It's dope, man. So I saw that and I put the design together and then did some crowdsourcing in the Discord, and we finally got like the design and that's why I love the Discord, man. It's like, we family, like, let's figure this shit out together. And it came out
right,
fucking blah, bro. Like thanks, maybe look at this for some of the ideas of their jerseys, bro. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Anyway, if you hear this and you are, and like I want to be serious about this. You got to be serious about, like, I can't, I'm not fucking, like, this is serious. If you are an interested, legit person who wants a jersey, DM me, DM Ryan. We're going to need the size that you need the jersey in, the number you want on the jersey, and the name you want it for it to say on the back. I think they'll be here in February, and now I'm going to start mailing them out in February. So please, there's about 7 to 8 spots left. If you want one, reach out to us. wrapping up. That's pretty much it. I'm sure we'll be back next week. We'll probably talk about divisional weekend. We'll try to have a guest on, have some ideas of who I might want to get on the show. Hopefully it works out. Don't know for sure. But thank y'all for listening. I know we felt like we had to get this out today, even though I had a fucking stressful ass day. But I knew we had to record tonight. It was a must. So thank y'all for all the support. There's sometimes where we really feel the support, and there's sometimes like are we like I know we're doing it, but like is it really like we like that? I would say the last couple of days, it's felt good. So thank y'all for the support. Continue to listen. Continue to share it on social media, retweet it, Instagram, anywhere you can, just to get the word out. We really appreciate it. If you are not a Patreon, honestly, bro, like I'm gonna say this: the time to be a Patreon is now. Like this off season, you are going to want to be in that Discord, bro. Like today was a prime example. Like if you're not in Discord at this point, if you don't want to contribute $1 a month to be in the Discord, you're missing out. That's all I'm gonna say, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Because jokes was flying. Like I read and caught up on some things, and I was just howling all the way through, Ryan. Just howling, bro.
Bro, it's such a great escape from Twitter.
Oh yes. Oh God, yes. Yes. Anyhow, we're done. Thank you, y'all. Truly, tremendously. We appreciate y'all so much. We'll be back next week. With that, we're out.
Peace.